Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of the Unapologetic Entrepreneur, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're ready for today. We have a good one for you. Today's episode might be one of the most transformational I've ever recorded because we're going to be diving into the truth. Most importantly, we're going to be talking about something people never really even realize. Your future. Your future is not somewhere you just arrive. Your future is something you speak, build, and create every single day. We're breaking down what I like to call the future formula mindset. It's a blueprint that was inspired by two powerful books. I actually spoke about them this morning with our organization and my team. And those books are Be Your Future Self Now by Benjamin Hartley and Hung by the Tongue by Samuel Waldron. I would advise you guys to look those books up because today we're going to talk about how these two ideas collide and create an identity with the language that can shift your whole mind and shift your whole life really fast. Let's get into it. Well, today's episode, as I said, is going to be Speak Like Your Future Self and Be Your Future Self. It's a different angle on what we're used to talking about, and I hope you guys are ready. Remember, as always, you guys can participate, say hello, participate, ask questions. Let's go. Let's get into it. Let me start by saying hello to our people. Hey, what's going on? Good evening to Kira Sullivan. How's everything? Hope everything is well. Remember, if you do not speak, I can't really shout you out. So make sure you say hello so that way I can easily just shout you out. Again, you are able to participate by just getting involved. But I'm going to start my topic today. Today was one of those scripts, if you would, that I put together that really even shifted me. It spoke to me. Most of the times I speak, and it's really to catch my own attention and to reflect. And guys, we're in December. Oh my God, how quick a year has flown by. I remember it like yesterday was just like New Year's Day, man. It is now, we are in December. We're like 2.5 weeks away from switching to a new year, new shift. Why not talk about what you can do, creating a blueprint to become a new, better version of yourself? See, these books and a lot of the things that I'm learning from, like I said, mentorship that I received, books that are given to me. See, the books are no good if you just read them, but if you start reflecting and applying, it changes and it shifts. It does a paradigm shift in your mind where you start to say, they're giving me the tools and the jewels that I need to actually become a better version of myself. And that's what happened when I started reading these books. See, your future self should dictate your actions, not your past. That's a great quote right there. I'll say it again for the people in the back. Your future self should dictate your actions. All right. Your future self should dictate your actions, not your past. A lot of us are getting stuck in the past. And why is this important? Because if you're going into entrepreneurship, you need a new mindset. You got rid of the mindset when you got rid of your boss. See, when you work in a job, you have the mindset and the vision of whatever the owner or the boss has in mind for you. You're helping fulfill that vision. You're helping fulfill that movement. When you're an entrepreneur, it's all what you have, what's your vision, what's your long-term goal. And your business is only going to be as great or as big as you are. Your business can't pass you. And one of the things I feel that we do, I'm not saying you, I'm not saying any particular, I'm speaking even to myself, looking in the mirror, is that we drag dead bodies. That's right. We're dragging dead bodies. We're bringing things that happened in the past and we're dragging them along to try to make a better version of ourselves, but we're still carrying all that weight. You can't do that. You can't bring old habits. You can't have old fears. You can't have old failures. You can't have old insecurities. All that has to be let go. But your past cannot, if you do that, your past will now be leading your future. You cannot allow that. Your past cannot lead you into the future that you want, the vision that you're casting. And I think that's very important. And, it's one of those transformational things in my mind. I think it's very important for entrepreneurs to not only know, but understand how important it is. We got some other viewers here. Oh, hey, what's going on? Hey, Carla, how you doing? All right, how you doing? We got Francine. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Donna, how you doing? Good afternoon. So we're just picking up where we left off in the morning for some of you that were actually preview to what I was talking about. But we got to start thinking about what we can do for change. You can't bring none of those things into your future. So I want to really get into it. And I'm going to start. I already gave you the first quote. I want you to think about this with the mind shift, right? The mindset shift. You have to think, you don't grow into your future, guys. You decide it. Then you act from today. So what do I mean by that? You plant seeds. I was explaining how we're living right now. I am living a version of something that I planted 90 days ago. 90 days ago, I planted the seeds that you see before you, and now's when they're sprouting. So every quarter, you should be someone different or transformational, because you're planting today something that you're going to see come into fruition in March. And you got to be very careful what you're saying, the seeds you're sowing, the words that are coming out of your mouth. Because when you're saying things are happening, you're already planted. Bad things, you're planting them. That's what's going to sprout later. Good things, you're planting them. That's what's going to sprout later. So you got to be very careful. Now, I have some of you listening out there, so I'm going to ask, if your future self walked into a room right now, right, would they be proud of your daily habits, your language, your work ethic, your discipline? Ask yourself that. If your future self walked in right now into a room, would they be proud of the daily habits, your daily language, meaning the way you speak about yourself, your work ethic, and your discipline? I mean, I'm sure the things that I could have improved on, but if I had to say yes or no, I would say yes. I personally, intentionally, and I'm sure most people do, wake up with having the intention to do everything great. But you have to consistently do that. Are you sowing those seeds that your future self will look at you and say, hey, I'm proud of you? Ask yourself that for a minute, because it's important. Oh, wait, we got some stuff in the chat already. All right. I got somebody in agreement. Hey, what's going on, LaShawn? There it is. Oh, Coach, thank you. Thank you guys for all your support. I love that you guys are here. Join the conversation. Put things in the chat. I will make sure that we can have a conversation. This is great. So would your future self be proud of you? This should wake you up. because becoming your future self means a lot. It means letting go of who you're not. See, we're not a victim of our circumstances. You can't allow that. Things happen. I say things don't happen to me, they happen for me. And these things that happen for you, you should be able to use them, but that doesn't define who you are. Yet we carry them, this heavy book bag full of rocks, saying that this is who we are. And we allow people to label us that way. If you do these things, you can't scale, you can't build, you can't control a business because you still don't have control of the one thing that you need most control of. You. If you can't control you, you can't think, you can't expand. How are you expecting to grow a business? You have to stop for a second and fix yourself. And this is one of those episodes that hopefully puts that in perspective. That you start to say, I need to work on me. The better I am, the better my business is going to be, because your business is going to reflect who you are. And you have to remember that. All right, so let me see. Oh, good evening, Sean. I see you. I'll pop you up in a minute. So I want you guys to think about that. Another thing that it means, not only letting go, but stepping into who you want to be. That takes a great deal of tenacity. Stepping into who you want to be, that's a bold move. You have to be bold because this requires you killing who you used to be. You can't be two people. You can't. You got to kill the old person to be the new person. And you also have to start acting as if things are already there. So if you're a millionaire, how would you carry yourself if you were a millionaire? I'm not saying how would you spend the money. I'm not asking you what would you do. I'm asking your behavior. Who would you be? What would people see? That's important. You got to be able to walk in those shoes, guys, but you walk in them now. Okay? Whoever you want to be 90 days from now, you should be walking in that spirit right now. So take a pen, take a pad, start writing who you want to be. What do you want people to look? What do you want people to see you as? How are you going to dress? How are you going to carry yourself? How are you going to speak? You know, a lot of people spend time getting ready. You should already be ready. That's the whole point. Be ready now for tomorrow. If you're in a position or a job that requires you, I don't say job, I'm sorry. If you're in a position in which you're going to do a speaking arrangement, if you're going to be honored and you're going to speak on what you're being honored for, are you ready for that speech right now? Are you ready to take the stage? Do you know what you're going to say? How you're going to introduce yourself? These are the things you have to think about moving forward. You have to be ready so you don't have to get ready. Entrepreneurship becomes easier when you identify, when your identity becomes stronger. So you have to start living in that identity now. Now, let's bring it to the second book. The second book, ooh, man, hung by the tongue is a big one. You are living today in the words you spoke yesterday. Same thing I just said, but now it's verbal. How many people say things like, I'm tired, I'm tired, I'm tired? Well, guess what? You could wake up, have 8 hours of sleep, and if you keep saying I'm tired, the mind just says, hey, Leo's saying turn on the tired switch. And guess what? I'm going to be tired. So why not change it? I'm full of energy. I'm ready for the world. I could run a mile right now. The mind doesn't know the difference. Who controls you? Does the mind control you or do you control your mind? Now you got to be careful because the things you say, your mind is picking up and saying, hey, he's giving us instruction. I'm a loser. That's instruction. You're telling your mind, hey, how would a loser act? How would a loser behave? Why does this always happen to me? Your mind is saying, "Ooh, go back to that time when he was feeling bad about things that were happening to him. Replay that. That's the feeling we need to let out now. I'm overwhelmed. Oh my God, so many things." What does overwhelm look like? Plug that in. Boom. Your mind is going to give you exactly what you want, what you're asking for. You got to control your mind. When you start thinking things are impossible, guess what? You're right. Here's the scary part. Your subconscious doesn't know whether you're joking or not. It simply obeys the voice it hears the most. Your subconscious, what you're saying to yourself, you're giving your body and mind instruction to go do that. It's a dangerous game. Oh, Sean is another word. I'll try. I'll try. I'll try already starts with doubt. That means you don't know if you can do it. You got to be very careful what you put in your mind when it comes to this. So, guys, what seeds are you sowing for the future? What are you doing? Are you feeding yourself the doubt? Think about the last conversations you've had with yourself. Have they been positive? See, successful entrepreneurs talk a little different. They speak of focus, things like confidence, vision, direction, expectation, abundance, solutions. Then there's no problems. There's only solutions. They're solution-based thinkers. They're challenges, not problems. It's a challenge. I'm getting better with that. I'm working on that. I used to say, oh, there's a problem. No, there's a challenge. A challenge can be solved. See, you've heard this before. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. You got to be careful the words you say to yourself because words have meaning and definition. And your subconscious really doesn't know what you're saying, whether it's true of you being sarcastic or what. Your future self won't survive with old negative language. You got to be better than that. Oh, we got some comments here. How do you guys feel about that? Or have you reflected on some of the behaviors and language that you have said to yourself? Are you reflecting right now like, oh man, that's not good? You know, one of the things I do is I journal. Journaling does a lot for me. And next year, this upcoming year, I want to start January. I still journal by hand, but what I'm going to start doing is video journaling so I can see my reaction. I'm going to start talking to myself. So when I go back and watch the playback, I can say, wow, look at my face. Look how I'm talking about myself. Look, oh, I got to fix that. I'm playing my own movie in my head because I want to course correct as soon as possible because I want to be the best version of me. I can't be good for anyone if I'm not the best version of myself for myself today. Every day you're either growing or dying. I prefer to feed the seeds of growth. So what we're going to do is we're going to merge these two together. When I merge these two together, I found out some things in my thoughts and my writing. Your identity creates your behavior. Your behavior creates your pattern. And now your pattern creates your results. So this is why I was telling you, as an entrepreneur, you got to work on you because your business reflects you. So I'm going to do that one more time for the people in the back. Ready? Your identity creates your behavior. Your behavior creates your pattern. Your pattern creates your results. And your words shape your identity. This is all about your identity. Who are you going to be 90 days from today? Ask yourself that. If you're writing, if you're driving, if you're taking notes, ask yourself that. And let that be bold, printed on your brain as a tattoo right now. Who are you going to be 90 days from today? So to become an entrepreneur, again, you got to be a better version of yourself. One of the things I would tell you to stop doing, stop apologizing for having ambition. we I find so many people that keep apologizing. I'm sorry. It's such an easy word. I'm sorry. Everything. I'm sorry. Why are you sorry for? Are you really sorry? What are you apologizing about? So stop. Stop doing that. Stop talking like the old you. Start today changing your vocabulary, your posture, the way you speak, the way you carry yourself, the way you walk. Start changing that today. Stop playing small. I learned a lesson that I wrote this in my journal because it was so impactful. I know he's listening, so hopefully he doesn't kill me. But I'll come back to this as soon as I'll come back to the chat in a minute. In one of our mentoring sessions, our mentors apologized to everybody. Oh, I'll say his name. Coach apologized to everybody. I'm going to tell you why. Because Coach said, I just wanted to double this year. And guys, we tripled. And it came to me, meaning him, that I need to apologize to you guys because I was thinking small. Two things came to my mind. One, he apologized for something. That tells me a lot about leadership because that tells me that he has enough ETA. If you don't know what that is, go back to some of the other episodes. You could easily subscribe right here. Check it out. We talked about ETA. He has the ETA to realize that he could have done better by casting a larger vision, and we might have passed what he was thinking. So we tripled. Any business would love to triple. I was like, what's the big deal? We tripled. Yeah, you thought we were going to double. We beat that. Let's go. What's going on, coach? So I wrote that down. I was like, that was peculiar. I meant to ask him about that, but he answered in the next phrase. He said, I should have had a bigger vision. Meaning, we already know where we're going next year. We already know we're going to have over 1,000 agents saving and changing people's lives. We already know what we're going to do for the world because the vision is going to be casted way bigger. But to think about that, his vision, he thought he was thinking too small. How important is that? I got some stuff here. Let's see. What do the best version of me really look like and means? The best version of me. Oh, if that's a question to me, the best version of me looks like a man that's always in a suit. I'm comfortable right now, but I'm outside and I'm very generous guy. I'm a servant type of human being. So I just want to be able to serve more people, donate a lot more money than I do, serve not only agents and clients, but also in the church. And I just want to be able to leave my fingerprint on the world. I want to make sure that my name lasts longer than I do. When I pass away, my name will be going on for generations to generations because of the work I've done and put down, the way I've helped people. So it looks like a very generous person. Man, you just you put the vision in my head. You made me pause for a second. That was a great question. I like when that I love painting those pictures in my head. Most might not understand that. Yeah, they I don't think everybody understands it until they try it. See, my journey started in January with transformation. And I could tell you that one of the things that required was consistency. I had to be consistent with who I had to ride one good day into another good day into another good day. And let me be honest with you, not every moment that I had gave me the allowance to call it a good day. But what I did is I leaned on what I have. I leaned on the family that was built around me. I leaned on the team that I have around me. I leaned on my mentorship, and they just fed me water. They only fed water to the good seed. So I was able to stay moving forward in a positive manner and stay consistent. Consistency is the key. You have that good day, you have that good moment. You got to ride that good moment and keep looking at your future self. This is one of the reasons I did an exercise called an obituary, because an obituary is written when someone dies. And I wanted to be control of the words that people say about me when I die. Right? So I wrote what I want people to see me as. And that obituary has certain words in it. And in order for me to live up to those words, I have to live a certain way to live up to those words. They're not just empty words. So when I read it, if I'm not living on that path that I need to be on in order to have people speak of me the way that obituary reads, then I'm not doing my job. That's the way I can easily course correct, by being able to do that. So I got to do that for the people one day. That was a great question there. Let's see here. We have Heather. My family loves the change in how I talk now, from reading the books of the month and being with, I think you meant being with Experience CEO Life. Heather, that means it's starting to show. But now, whatever that was that obviously you becoming a better version of yourself. But how intentional was that? Or is it that the system and everything that you've been doing and all the learning is just coming out? Now imagine you intentionally saying, this is what I'm going to be in 90 days. And write that down. I'm going to be this. I'm going to walk like this. My bank account is going to look like this. I'm going to be having this many people. My business is going to scale like this. Write that down. And then look at it. Imagine how much more powerful that's going to be. Guys, what we write down, what we read, what we write, all these things are only fuel for that future self you see. Intentionally sow these seeds. We do it, and sometimes we just, it just happens that way because by default, and being in the right rooms with the right people and rubbing right elbows, things like this are going to happen. You're going to see a great change. Now, intensify that by actually doing it intentionally. Woo! Now we're talking. Now you're talking some power. You're taking that power into your own hands. So back to what I was saying about small vision or thinking small. Let's see the words identity. Stop playing small. Stop letting fear be the loudest voice in your head. Fear can eliminate and destroys all dreams. Stop letting fear be louder than your purpose. Your purpose should scream louder. Instead, speak boldly. Think boldly. Act boldly. Most importantly, dream boldly. So now you can live boldly. That word bold, you need to look it up. It's very important. Let me turn on this light. This is real time here. We're doing real time. Look at that. I'm brighter now. Yes. You got to be bold. To live your dreams and live the best life that you have and to be a better version of yourself 3 months from now, you got to be bold. 90 days ago, I asked for the right vehicle to use my insurance license, and here I am. Boom. Like that. Let's let everybody see that. We got comments here. This from Heather. 90 days ago, she asked for the right vehicle to use her insurance license, and here she is. Now, what are you going to do now that you're here? Plant those seeds. Hey, Nadia Lowe. How you doing? Welcome to the show. Now, I want you to do that intentionally, Heather. I'm going to lay down the formula right now and give you guys something to look at that should help. See, I want you to understand that you could build your future self, and this will now allow you to build a better version of you, to build a better business for you. Hey, I'm great. Thank you. So I'm going to lay it down for you guys. And it's going to be real simple. Please, if you like what you see, hit that little QR right there. Like, share, subscribe. Next year, we got powerful ones coming up. I'm finally able to schedule some and sit down some people. So we got some good ones for you coming. But let's start with, we're going to give you the formula, as I said in the beginning, for future. And I'm going to elaborate on each and every one of these. The F here, F in the word future, I want you to focus on your words. So important to focus on your words. Remember, your words have power. Every word that comes out of your mouth has its own strength. So I want you to start saying things to yourself like, I'm getting better daily. These sound familiar. These sounds like affirmations. Oh my God. I attract success. The right people are coming into my business. The right people are coming into my life. I'm becoming the leader I need to be. Talk about some bold statements. Here's one for you. I'm disciplined. Don't be scared of that word. I know. You got to say it to believe it, right? I'm disciplined. This will align your brain to start thinking in the way of your future self. Now, you got to be consistent because a lot of people I know write affirmations, but I guarantee you, I know they lie to me. If I tell them, did they read the affirmations today? They didn't. You have to read them every day. And you know what? Every time you're having a bad moment, not a bad day, a bad moment, read your affirmations again to remind yourself and rewire what's messed up in your head. Rewire. You gotta change the inputs to get a better output. We've been talking about that all week. All right. I'm just looking to see if anybody else has anything on the chat. I'm also looking on Facebook. Then I'll bring it up. Let's go to the U. Upgrade your identity. Your phone always goes through an upgrade. Why aren't you? It's time for an upgrade, don't you think? Upgrade your identity. Act from vision, from the vision you have. You got to see as if you already achieved your goal. Think things like, what would my future self do today? If you're thinking of yourself in the future being bigger, better, bolder, what would that person do in the current situation? That will help activate that future self you have within you. Would my future self talk to that person? Would I feel that I'm good enough to approach that person? Would I study more, practice my craft? Would I show up early? You know, there's a thing about waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Look it up. It's a real thing. Maybe I'll do a show on that one day. Would my future self doubt myself? You're supposed to be better. You know, right now you might doubt yourself, but if you start thinking of your future 90-day self, would that person come into this situation and doubt themselves? Here's a big one. Would they complain? Now, what is that? Do you even catch yourself complaining? Today, I had a conversation with Coach, and he remembers talking to me. I do not remember the conversation. I barely remember what I ate for breakfast, and I'm glad I don't remember this conversation. But he told me he remembered talking to me about a year ago, and he said that I was very negative in a positive way. I don't know how I did that. I guess my words were very negative. I was negative. Even though I didn't think I was, but my words, my verbiage was different. I carried myself differently. I had a lot of complaints. Complaining is a big sign that you need to change. You're not living in a positive light. Would you stay consistent? Would your future self be consistent? See, all that forms your identity. Your identity, again, determines your habits. Okay, I'm just checking. Anybody? No. Okay, good. We can keep going. So that's the U. Let's go to T. T is one of my favorite. Take action. See, a lot of us think, write, read a lot, but it stops right there. We read all these articles. We talk to a lot of people. We watch TV shows. We listen. We do all these great things, use all our senses, but we take no action. So you stay stuck being the same person you were 90 days ago because you're not taking any steps to move to the future you. Again, that takes boldness. You have to start walking toward the future you. It's all about taking action. Make an extra call. Talk to an extra person. Follow up to one more person. Be more consistent. Create more discipline. You got to give yourself rewards, but also consequences when you don't reach these goals. That was something learned and now practiced. There's got to be consequences. Act more like, I spoke about this today too. You got to create urgency, or rather than urgency, an emergency. You move a lot faster. See, the reason that came up is because one of the things we talked about is that a lot of people want to live in purpose. They want to live in their purpose. They can't find their purpose. What's my purpose? What's my purpose? The reason you don't know your purpose is because you're not moving in enough urgency. Urgency creates your purpose. The faster you move, you'll find your purpose. If you're sitting and thinking, your purpose will never come to you. Urgency creates purpose. You want to find your purpose? Be more urgent. Have a little more discipline. See, these small steps are the way that you win the big race. I'm laying it on thick today. Ooh, it's coming on thick. How you doing, Crystal? Let's go to the next U. Here's the next U. Funny enough, we're going right into it. Use urgency. That is a tool. If there's ever a tool that you can use, it's urgency. A future without urgency becomes a fantasy. You have to use that as a tool. See, in the book, Hardy says, change becomes easy when it becomes urgent. Act now, move now, build now. Act now, move now, build now. The operative word, now. Not tomorrow, not yesterday, not in 3 days, now. The unapologetic entrepreneur doesn't wait for the perfect moment. They create momentum, which creates the perfect moment. Everything's about momentum. Urgency, urgency, urgency. In sports, fourth quarter. You got to move, you got to move, you got to move. Time is going. You got to act really urgent. Come on, I hope this is hitting somebody. I hope it's hitting you. Let's go to the comments real quick before we go to R. We have anything here? Oh, here we go. Even though fear is an emotion, the brain recognizes fear as a threat. So it automatically puts the mind in defense mode to self-protect. I agree. I'm learning a lot here today. We got some promises here. People are laying it down on Facebook. In 90 days, I will be working this business full time, leaving my 9 to 5 to become an ED. Oh, she's no longer. Heather is saying it right now. Mark the date. In 90 days, by March. That's a bold statement. By March, she will get rid of her job. She will not be just over broke. She will not be in a jail operating business. She is going to be her own entrepreneur all the time, heading to to becoming an executive director. Ooh, all right. 90 days from now, look at you. Claim it, girl. Live in those shoes. All right. Thumbs up. Look at this. And amen. We got preaching going on. I love it. Let's get to the next one right here. We're going to go to R. Let's go to R. Remove negative talk. Sometimes, like Coach said, I didn't even know that a year ago I was being negative when I spoke to him. It was probably a little over a year ago. I didn't even know I was being negative. That's the scary part. I don't even know what I was saying that was negative. I wish I would have had recordings from it, and I shouldn't have said that because he'll probably send them to me now because that man does get footage. But you got to remove that. And I'm glad that I have someone looking at my blind spots, course correcting me as I course correct others. Because it's important. I'm telling you, being programmed for 30, 40 years of your life to say and talk a certain type of way is real hard to remove that reprogramming, to unplug that part from the matrix is not easy. So if you have the right people around you, it makes it a lot easier. So You got to remove words like I can't. Hey, you think you could take me to the store? I can't right now. Find a different way to say it. I can't does not exist. Let's have a funeral like we did in one of our meetings. We're having a funeral, guys. All these words are going in a casket today. I can't. I'm tired. Business is slow. It won't work. That won't work. Won't. Doesn't even sound good coming out of your mouth. Won't. I always fail. And let's put all those words in a casket right now. And we're going to bury it deep, 9 feet underground. You got to get rid of that terminology. When you catch yourself about to say those words, stop yourself. If any of you know each other, all of you right now, catch anybody that's watching this, you catch them saying those words, stop them. Stop each other. Help each other out. Hold each other accountable. No more I can't. No more I'm tired. No more it won't work. I always fail. No more. Change it with I'm capable. I'm still learning. I'm learning. Bring it down to I'm learning. I overcome challenges. I get better every day. Your mouth, your tongue is a tool. You got to remember that it shapes the future you. Your mouth and your tongue are part of the sculpt, the one that's sculpting the future you. So please be careful. Oh, we're having 20 feet deep. All right. Let's see what we got. I said bury at 9 feet deep. Takira bought the casket. She brought it on. Takira brought the casket on. So everybody threw the words in. And Francine said, we're going to dig a little deeper. We're going to go 11 feet deeper than you said, Leo. 11 feet deeper. We're going 20 feet deep. Now, if you're going to bury these words, you can't let these words, you can't allow, look at that. You see that? You can't allow these words to surface and be around you either. So when people in your inner circle are using words like this, correct them. Hey, what do you mean you can't do that? We don't say that in this house. As a matter of fact, when my son was young, the word can't was not a word that could be used. And I know a lot of people that incorporate that. And I actually started by seeing that in a movie. I can't think of the movie right now, but there was a movie I saw that he did not allow the word can't. Oh, I remember. Love and Basketball. Love and Basketball is one of my favorite movies. Love and Basketball. When Quincy was growing up, he said can't. And he also said a bad word. And his father said, what did I tell you about that word? And he said, men don't use the word can't. And the mother looked at him like he cursed. No, the can't was the curse. The bad word wasn't. That's where I got it from. Look at that. I knew I would remember if I thought about it. Can't. You can't, you shouldn't allow. Don't allow people to say those words around you either because they become contagious. Look at that. All right. So let's go to the next. We went to R. Now we're going to go to E. Let's go to E. Man, one of our leaders in our team loves this word, man. Every time I see the word action or execute, I think about him. He speaks about this with such strength and gusto. Execute like your future self. You got to place yourself in that situation. You got to really start thinking like this person in order for the transformation to take change. Man, it's so helpful to have somebody by your side that can help you execute these things. Execute. Don't wait for confidence. Don't wait for clarity. Don't wait for motivation. Why are we waiting for? Execute anyway. You're not motivated? Execute. You're not confident? Execute. You're not clear on what to do? Execute. The quicker you start making movement, the clearer your purpose will become and your identity will sharpen, getting you closer to being that future you. You see how it all works together? Man, this is what hit me today. So I'm just preaching to a choir today. I hope you guys are catching this. Let me see what we got here. All right. I pray that it touches one, and I know it will. Don't wait for that. Don't wait for things to be clear. Confidence and clarity and momentum is built by movement. That movement will create your identity. and your identity is what's going to give you the results. See, entrepreneurs, they are working at their highest level. They don't need motivation, clarity. They don't need confidence. What they need is exactly what they do. They stay and remain consistent. You got to be consistent. Execute like the person you want to become. That's what you want to do. So you have it. There you have it. There you have it. Future, the blueprint. Hopefully that helps some of you with your transformation. Let's see in the caption. Let's see if we have anything in the chat that's gonna any questions here. I too, for my kids, couldn't say, oh, you couldn't say or stupid. Yeah, stupid is not it's not good. My kids couldn't say can't or stupid. Okay. You know, I only had one child that didn't really that stupid wasn't one of them, but I know Kent was strong in our home when he was young. Well, guys, I hope that word future really helped you guys with what, molding the person that we're going to see in March. Some of you already laid it on the line here and put down what you want to see in 90 days. You know what's real bold about that? And I forgot, let me see. I think it was Heather that put that. You know what's real bold about that, Heather? That you just put that on the bottom of this podcast here. You're going to be able to come back in March and reflect on what you said. You just created the mirror. So when you look at it, if you're still in the same place today, you will know how to course correct. That is very impressive. That was a bold statement. Let me put it out for a recap. F, focus your words. Be careful, be intentional. Try to think before you speak. U, upgrade your identity. T, take daily action. Even a little step forward is a good step to take. U, use urgency as if it was an emergency. Say that 10 times. R, remove negative talk. Start to learn how to identify when something's negative. Someone speaking is making you feel negative. You got to ask yourself, let me help this person and course correct what they're saying. Remove those words like can't, problem, I won't, I'm not, change the words, help them out because that stuff is contagious, man. E, execute like your future self. If you're able to do those things, you will not only be better for it, but you'll be transformed in 90 days. You won't recognize the person you see in the mirror. That is the goal, to always be a better version of the person you are today. I want to thank you guys for coming out today. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you decided to spend your time here with me. It's been an honor, a pleasure, and a privilege. Be blessed.